10 years of my business was through word of mouth, which was great. Then the internet hit, which I hated it because now it means, oh, I actually have to advertise. Those are things I'm just not interested in. I'm more interested in the people, teaching people on one communications with people. I can figure out what it is that you need versus sometimes translation get lost in typing and all of that. So with that, you know what? I noticed that at the time I was working at Dairy Queen. Kudos to Dairy Queen. So I was working, I've done a few jobs. I've worked as a janitor. I worked as a custodian. I've worked as a not so good supervisor at the time, Queen. Um, because I was eating up all of the ice cream and the double deckers and yeah. So I did a lot of odd jobs in order to make this dream come true. As I stated, my background is civil engineering. I also took business. I also took sociology. I was in school, so I'm a very great student. When it comes down to like, I just didn't have the avenue that I wanted to go in, right? So I backed up and I said, okay, let me see where I'm most needed. You go through bad relationships, friendships will depict what you're doing. And so when you feel like, oh, you know what, my life is chaotic, how are you going to start a business? So I tell anybody that if you are planning to be an entrepreneurship, you have to get your personal life in check. If your personal life is chaotic, guess what your business is going to be? It's chaotic. So I had to get together, come to sister girl moment, and just say, what is it that you want to do? You have all of these different avenues that you're excelling in. What is it that you want to do? And it really came down to me working for myself, just really working for myself, but I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. I excelled well at civil engineering, and I did that only because I was told that I couldn't do it. One, I'm a woman, I'm a Black woman, and I had no direction. Again, head just in so many different directions. It was like, listen, you have to get structure. So with that, I know I'm jumping around, but with that, in high school, I joined ROTC, which I made a career out of, and I knew I liked structure. That was my first introduction into structure, and that kind of superseded into my path of entrepreneurship. Captain Spriggs was like a father figure to me while I was away from my dad. My dad was, in Florida at that time, Florida and New York, but he served as a father figure. He set me down and was like, listen, you will be a great businesswoman, but you have to get disciplined. And discipline is what I lacked. So again, I tell you, the good, the bad, and the ugly of entrepreneurship, because you have to be able to be disciplined within yourself, funnel of direction in which you want to go in whenever you're doing anything. So whatever you do, just be the greatest at it and really focus on that. So as I said, with all of that, with all of the jobs that I've had, I knew that I wanted to own a salon because I was great. I was able to be a part of a journey of a woman that was fighting for her life, which was my roommate's mother. And I started making wigs, which I didn't know anything about. Like, so I started making wigs, started sourcing out my vendors, where to get the hair from, where to get the materials from. And I was just learning things along the way. And as I was doing that, all of my chastising from my captain at the time in ROTC helped me to become more organized. My life started slowing down. I wasn't getting into so much mischief when I was younger. I didn't get in bad trouble, but it was a little mischief stuff. And I noticed I was starting to this, and it started becoming lucrative. I wasn't even really banking on my money from Dairy Queen at the time because I was making so much money doing hair. Like, I had a whole clientele on campus of doing hair. Oh, you have this, you have a job interview, go CJ. And I just started, and it just kind of trickled down from there, word of mouth. And I said, okay, well, let me get a logo. And it just kind of snowballed from there. That being said, it started another business, which was Ellis braids on wheels. That didn't go nowhere. But so many things, but I knew I wanted to stay in that industry. While doing engineering, it started becoming so lucrative. My engineering checks were just money that I was. So one thing led to another. And here we are, 35 years later. I've started several businesses. Now actually help other people start their businesses, but I have to be honest in my transparency of what it took, It pretty all the time. I didn't have, the best of the bad, a couple of chips that didn't work because I was so dedicated to my craft. I didn't have time to nurture a relationship. Friends, I couldn't hang out, go to the sorority parties and doing all of that cool stuff that I was doing because I knew I started getting it in my bank account. It wasn't a problem with me tuition because I was making so much money and I was good at it. So I started investing, started getting my finances in order. This is all happening in college. So I started just saving, just little stuff. I'm telling you, it was crazy. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna pay these bills and I'm gonna send $25 to this checking account, $25 savings account. By the time I graduated from college, I had over $200,000 saved up. Just just saving because you pay it like literally. I was writing checks like I was paying a bill, and I forgot about it. I didn't have a check card. I didn't have anything, so I took that money. I'm not a big lavish shopper, none of that. I said, okay, what am I going to do? And I invested in Remy hair. Everybody know about the ladies. Y'all know about Remy hair. Not excluding you, babe. Sorry. So I started investing in to the hair extensions because I taught myself how to extensions for hair loss clients, and that's really where my really boomed from. Dealing with hair loss clients background, I started looking into what natural ingredients that I can use for my own hair care products. And that's just what it was. So when I'm doing hair, and it was like keeping me up at night, like, oh, her hair is coming out. I don't know why. I didn't know no scalp therapy for this stuff. So I said, you know what, what organic base if you have a nut allergy. Let me see what are the alternatives to nut allergies. Everyone can't use, coconut oils and all of that stuff because they're allergic to it. So then you go to root plants, herbs to figure out which combinations will give you the same benefits as the nut products. And that's how it happened. So it started with hair growth oil, which is probably the easiest thing to make to me, only because I know how to do it. But that was my first. So I started off there and started just taking it, going to the Washington Cancer Health Center in DC, and just started like vetting my product. Just started. Well, I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna give you a sample. I'm gonna give you this. It was nothing to just give it out because you got to give something, right? You can't be disorganized, and you cannot be you can't just be a person that's not disciplined. You have to be a person willing to sacrifice something to get something. Now, okay. When it really came down to it, my personal life was in chaos. Okay. So I say that because the husband at the time, not the current husband, the husband at the time did not understand why you doing this? Why, because he wanted to party. And I get it. I love to party too. I can shake it up, do something, right? However, knew that I wanted more. I love to travel the world. I wasn't a woman that wanted to be like, oh, I want to be married. I want to have a bunch of kids and this, that, and the other. Mine was I wanted to make a lot of money. I wanted to travel the world. I wanted to own a brownstone in New York. Okay. I don't own a brownstone in New York. That's the only thing I didn't do. But I invested well. But that took discipline. So the best thing anyone that want to do a business of their own, first of all, you got to learn how to be disciplined. You have to get your personal life. That means separating from people. I'm looking at you. That you that don't align with your visions and the things that you want as far as business. That's going to take sacrifice. You're going to have to end relationships, romantic relationships that you feel like, oh, this is great, but he really don't support my dream. Well, your dream, then she got to go. Seriously, because you need some money grow. You need someone that's going to be like, oh, do we take a week vacation or can we sacrifice and do a 3-day vacation and save the rest of this money because I see vision. I believe in you, queen. If you are not on that type of level with each other, you're wasting your time because you anyone come in and interfere with your discipline and it's yours. It's called self-esteem. Now, now her esteem is called self-esteem. And with that, you have to be disciplined as far as what you want to do and be honest about yourself. Y'all better listen to me. I learned if God don't bless you from where you trying, where you pretending to be, all this social media hype, hashtag, that ain't where God gonna bless you. He not. And trust me, I got, you know, we make a pretty good living for ourselves. And like I was literally having a conversation with my sister this morning. First of all, let me tell y'all how I got here. I was just with Kevin, so I'm gonna share it with you all. A lot going on. So I started the business, the EDI. I'll get to that. EDI has halted a lot of my company deals right now. So we are restructuring. Okay. Um, Last time, I'm not sure how many of you all were here, but we were in a relationship with Walmart. Still there, instead of having 30 stores, we have well over 100 stores now. So, which is amazing, but that required discipline and some setbacks, which was it was a very discouraging moment at that time because I was thinking, why are we being delayed? What is it? Like I've done all of the steps. I've played by the rules. I've done everything that I'm supposed to have done. Why are we being delayed? Well, it came to be, I was satisfied with 30 stores. Ooh, we connected with Walmart. We got 30 stores. I'm excited, you know. But I knew that the vision was big. We were going to achieve being in the bigger box stores. God, and in that stepping back season, I ended up rebranding the men's line. So to give you a little bit of background, if you all haven't the previous recordings, we had one design. It's nice. It was cool, right? So we were vetting the women's product, but Walmart picked up the men's line. So, and I was like, well, why do you pick up the men's line? Like, so the inner spirit say, self, how much competition do you want? You ask God to create a lane for you. You are the first Black woman, African American woman, correct, first African American woman in the Washington D.C. area to launch. I won't, but to launch a major brand with a big box store, which is phenomenal. It hadn't been done. I'm the first, so kudos to me. So I am really excited about that because, like, I was getting ready to abolish the brand. So speed it up. We did that. So that delay in being satisfied with the 30 stores, you can't tell God how to bless you. And that's what I was doing. Well, God, I'm good with the 30. Trying to be bigger than what I am, fronting, right? So God said, you know what? We're going to pause this. You need to rebrand. You're not in love with this brand that they picked up. Do something different. So with that, I presented the new brand. I still had the deal, okay? But I went back and I said, listen, I said, I want to be honest with you. I like the brand. I'm not in love with the brand. What do you think about this? They offered me stores, over 100 stores. Again, goes back to discipline, being honest with myself, being honest about my journey, being honest about my vision. And when I sat back and said, this is what I'm willing to sacrifice. It wasn't no going out. Me and my husband, we love taking little vacations. Just little things. So we work hard. We work hard. We have children. We are the go-to people when people need help or, oh, we'll make it happen. We're very family oriented is the bottom line. And it's a lot of weight. It's a lot of weight. And what I had to realize is that, are you being more giving to the people that don't really need it or deserve? It takes a toll on you, right? So you then have to sit back and say, what are they sacrificing to help your business? How many of them say, hey, how can I help you get these orders out? Because we slammed on Amazon. How many of them helping us get these orders out? And that required me to adjust and say, you know what? It's cool for us to have this friendship in this capacity. Everybody doesn't need the access to you. And that was putting boundaries on these friendships, relationships, as far as relatives and things like that. And it's a lot of sleepless nights, again, with figuring out this move, how you going to elevate here. EDI came and shut us down. He has skills that's hard now, right now. 7 deals would have pushed us way past the $1 million mark. 7. We're restructuring right now, trying to figure out how this is going to be advantageous with our partners coming forward. And this is what we're dealing with right now. So with that, I had to take another step back. And I said, you know what? I was talking to my VA, and she put this appointment on my books, but it was the day before. I wasn't planning to be here today. I had planned to be here today, but didn't align. She made a little mistake, which is fine. And usually I plan out a week in advance to be on site for events. And so just so happened, this is, again, I don't know how faith-based you all are, but for me, I'm very strong in my faith. Nothing happens by accident, because my was missed this. So I'm grateful to be here, to be in front of you all, to give you all the good, the bad, and the ugly of entrepreneurship. And I had my engine light came on. My husband's daddy is being crazy. You know, they old. You know, they realizing that, hey, you're getting older and you can't do certain things. So he's there. Usually my mother is here. Those are my biggest supporters. And then I have a ton of other relatives that's like, hey, you know what you doing? Where you going? They always want to be and support me. My circle, I swear to you all, if I throw a party today or tomorrow, we're gonna shut it down. If I throw a party, we're gonna shut it down. We done had the fire marshals being called on us. I say that to say this. Anytime I need people to show up for me, I have this group of people. Now, I just told y'all, if I throw a party, it's this much people. It's a whole bunch of people, right? But my really big key players, this small. That means I can trust them with getting the job done. I need you to do marketing. I need you to do posting. I need you to do finances. I need you to go out here with me and touch the people. Those are people that I need. Group this small. This, and realistically, to it, if today or tomorrow, my group is this small. And that takes trust, because that means you're dealing with my money. You're dealing with my money, you're dealing with my livelihood, and you're dealing with the rest of the clients that rely on me to show up for them. I need people that's going to be able to run my business just efficiently as if I were there. Those are the people you need to surround yourself with when it comes down to running your business. I've been in business for 35 years. Ask me when I learned that lesson. 4 years ago. Swear to God, 4 years ago. Because I took sick. I took sick. 5-star mobile salon didn't run. People run amok. I literally had the team, the entire team. I was a party of one. And I said, you got to get yourself together. But see, strong leadership came with me and my lack of discipline, because I fell off a little bit. You know, you go to another team, success, so we think, but the foundation doesn't change. It doesn't change. You have to be very committed, and you have to be dedicated and be honest with yourself. Yeah, you have a little bit of extra coin, but guess what? More money, more problems. Biggie ain't never lied about that. Okay? More receipt, more structure. I'm not just dealing with my lifestyle. If I don't make payroll, y'all don't get it. You know how many times I done had to cut payroll and didn't pay myself? Some business owners be like, oh, I got I'm out. But that's not good business ethic. It's not good business ethic. So it requires me to sit down and say, okay, where am I at? See, I can't plan just ahead of time. I got to plan like 10 steps, because I had all of y'all to think about. I have all of y'all to think about. I'm playing with people's lives when I don't handle my business. from personal, which transcend into my business, it's a lot. It's a lot. And that's the real thing that I can, if your home of order, meaning you as a person, because you are your business, you are your advertisement, you are the walking billboard for your company, regardless, regardless. So as I said, we have a couple of businesses, but every employee that we have, we know personally. That's one of my biggest things. I want to know who I'm working with. I want to know your character. I want to know what your vision is. I don't need you just walking, working here. Oh yeah, I work for Five Star. I work for a Five Star Beauty Collection, Ellis J, Ellis and Ellis Trucking Company. I don't need you just to do that because I don't know what you're praying for. I don't know what you're praying for. I don't know what the character is. And when we throw company functions, I need to know that I know you on a first name basis. How your children doing? Oh, they sick? Take some time off. And that took a lot to be able to get into the position to say, you know what? You took care of your business. So with these EDI deals, we ain't missing nothing. It'd be great, yeah, to have that. It's going to come. I have faith it's going to come. But at the same time, with me having to sit back and really seclude myself, even from my husband, don't get it twisted. He is not exempt. And when he to be in solitude for his portion of the business, if he need wifey to step back, step off, guess what I'm doing? I take care of my king on another front. Okay? Because in order for him to make proper decisions, I got to give him space. And for me to make proper decisions, he gives me that space so we can make these businesses run. Because it's about investing. And to be honest with you, he the spender. So I can talk about him today. He the spender. He going out of Jordans and all of that nonsense. I go Walmart. I ain't got time because I like to save money. He like to spend. Most of the time the roles are different, right? Where the women like to spend. I ain't doing no spending. I ain't doing no spending. You know, we have kids and I want to see their investments and I train. I don't want to say train, it's like a little puppy. But you know, I like to go to the schools and talk to children because guess what they don't do now? They don't teach finances. They don't teach financial literacy. They don't teach entrepreneurship. Come on back. You want to go to the other one? That way? You know, they don't teach financial literacy, which I wish they had taught when I was in school. I had to teach myself finance. And then I had to align, I promise you, 4 years. I just told Kevin, a lot can happen in a year. A lot can happen in a year. A lot has happened in 4 years for us. The rebranding of the product. I knew nothing about going into a retail. It's all I knew is that I knew how to make products. That was it. My products have been in my salon for 30 years, but it's just been here. People come in, oh, I'm gonna do this for you, I'm gonna do that for you. You say, oh, you get outside, and it's not that you didn't mean to call or to stay in touch, and you really did enjoy these people in these spaces, but guess what happens? Life happens. And we kind of, you know, we kind of miss it. And be like, oh, you know what? I meant to call such and such. Next thing you know, 2 months done passed, right? You done it. I know you have. You get caught up with everything because you're trying to fight for your own survival, right? We all do it. We're all guilty of it. So with me, I put everything on a calendar. Sad to say, I have to put everything on a calendar because I have my hands in so many things. I put it on a calendar. Hey, call and check on ex-employee. Their baby was sick, like real life. Because my intentions are good, but I know life happens to slip away from me a lot of times. And so with that, we're coming here today. Engine light came on. I needed 2 tires on the front of my truck. I was like, nothing. And I teach now. So I'm an instructor for forensic accounting. If I needed another thing to do, right? But I'm good at numbers. Girl, okay? So we're good at numbers. And so I was up and I go to class at 4 and I teach from 11 to 8. That's a long day. And I drove down here because I wasn't going to miss it because you all mean that much to me. First of all, it's a blessing that I was even asked to come here year after year after year. I don't take that for granted. I don't take that for granted because people see things in me that I don't quite see because I'm always in the do, you know. And if you how many of you all have heard of a branding deck, capability statement? Any of you? Okay. How many are you starting your own businesses? Love it. So these are things that you all are going to have to be familiar with. Capability statements, branding decks. We can talk about you. I'm gonna give you all my numbers so you all can call and just ask. Okay. Capability statements, and this is important because I have in 4 years, I didn't realize how much I had done. I just do. I just do like, oh, I passed this accreditation, and this is all geared towards building my business. There are things that I just didn't know about the where you have to get your products tested. You can't just say, oh, I'm gonna just sell it, sell it, sell it, sell it, and think it's gonna be in box stores. Child, whew, it takes a lot of work. Each product costs about $1,300 to get tested. I have to, so I have to do this in phases. I do nothing all at once. I do things in phases. Seriously, like just because you have a little bit of coin, don't mean you just be reckless and work with it, right? In this retail space, it required me to get these products that Walmart picked up to get tested, which is literally a lot of money. Some of them, I think the lowest one is like $830, and that's to get your product tested, get it vetted. Like, hey, this has been to make sure that it's natural, to make sure there's no chemicals. If there are chemicals, this is to say they've already had us this product, and that's every product. So to be in a retail space, you have to have it tested. You have to have certain certification. You know that little bunny that's on the back of the product. You be like, oh, that's cute. That's another $900. Every symbol that you see on, I wish I had a product with me. Every symbol that you see on the back of the product costs money for that certification. If you put that symbol on that product and it has not been cleared by that organization, they're gonna take your product off the shelf. I did not know going into this deal with the big retail stores, we have to pay for our spacing. So really, this is room A. I have your product, we want to have your product, we want to have your product. You pay for everything. That little barcode that we go through, and we like, scan, that costs $30 a watt. Oh yeah, I just want to give y'all the read. Like, this is going on. Sister girl here wasn't prepared at all. It's like I do. And I have barcodes on my products. I sell them in my salon. The UPC goes there with go and get secondary UPCs. But if you want to run with the big wigs, you're gonna have to go through GS1. That's the company. That's the only company that run all of the UPCs. GS1. Again, you can get refurbished UPCs, but you better know you're not going to be in the big box stores because they know everything is registered, like your social security number. Everything. So I can't go and scan you and be like, you're not who you are. Stop playing. You're using somebody else's social security number. That's what these products are. Right. So it was that, the GS1 certification, the cruelty-free certifications, oh, free, the natural fragrance-free, and all of those symbols cost money, and all of those certifications. So back to the credibility statement for my company. So you have a business resume. Did y'all know about business resumes? Y'all knew about business resumes? Nobody? Purple. Okay. So you all have to have a business resume. You all should have business resumes anyway. Professional students, because that's what you all are. You all should be doing that now, working on that, because your business need a resume. The business owner need a resume. So if you have partners in your organization, everybody should have a business resume. Capability statement. I went to that story to come back to this. I was doing so much, just literally. And there are times you feel like you're on a hamster wheel because everything don't finish up. You be like, oh, I could do this in no time. Murphy's Law don't happen like that. Something will happen, you get a delay, they deny your application, you got to figure out, Okay, now what? So I'm like doing my WeBank. Okay, girl, I'm proud of you. WeBank certifications. That's probably like $400 if your company is doing under $1 million. Don't quote me on it, but I believe it's under $1 million. So now, so with it's comfortable to be able to pay. Just pay $400. But when you hit that other surplus, that other level, them expenses go up. So I'm doing the same thing everybody else doing. Whether you working $13 an hour, $100 an hour, we all gonna pay bills. We all gonna have to be held accountable. We all gonna have to be disciplined. We all gonna have to be willing to sacrifice something in order to get. You go to work to be in your own place, right? You go to work because you want to take that fine lady out, right? Right? Okay, I'm gonna pick. That's what we do. We go to work and we put our fists together because we want that dude, the best dude, quote unquote. I don't know what that is, man. But we put our best before we keep our head down. We sacrifice. We sacrifice what? Time for money, right? Okay. Same thing. It's no different. We all same rat race together. So the capability statement, I started off, it was so cute. I was so proud of my first capability statement. It was one page. It was a half a page, and I had to do the double spaces to make it look like it was more than what it was. Terrible. It was terrible. It was pitiful, y'all. It's like, this look cute. Let me tell you about the capability statement. The colors are for your business. If you want to do government contracts, everything has to be. That seems small, right? That's a small thing. It's a big thing because they want to know that your branding is consistent. And they look at little stuff like that. So you know how you had a color codes with the hashtag 1234, them colors better align. Your fonts need to align in everything that you do because that's your branding. So with that, I had to learn. I'm telling y'all, I had to learn all of this. And for me, and one lady, I was speaking at one engagement. She said, "What's she telling all her business? I don't have no business because I want to be able to give you all the ups and downs because it's not all pretty, it's not success and all of that stuff all the time. I have to be very transparent with you all because that's how I help you all succeed. Whether I am a reflection of what you all doing or not, at least I have given you the information. You're going to have to research some information, but the capability statement, it was pitiful. And when I went back last year to do my capability statement is 3 pages. Crunched up. It's crunched up now, y'all. So many certifications that I ended up having to get in order for this business to be great. What I've done, organizations that I've aligned with, what am I doing in the community? How many of you all do community work? Excellent. Continue to push forward because that is going to solidify a lot of partnerships. What that says is that you are a humanitarian. What that says is that you believe in giving back. What that means is that you are selfless enough to go out here and help somebody else. My line of work, domestic violence. I've been in a relationship. Okay. Homelessness, misplacement, call it whatever you want. For me, I work every weekend. I volunteer 16 hours, rain, sleep, whatever, to the homeless. What I am aware of is that we all, I don't care how much money you making, just one incident from happening to be homeless. That's real. That's real. I think if you can remember, my first show that I did, it wasn't WeBank, it was Bron Brothers. I entire event. Y'all, who know about Bron Brothers hair show? None? You know? Okay, now. So I had big eyes, huge vision. It was gonna be great. I was looking to stand to make about 900,000 at this event. Ask me, please ask me, how much money we made. Who wants to be humored? Yeah, $625. I swear to God. Inventory didn't sell. Inventory was damaged in transport. Inventory was misplaced, stolen, because it's fabulous. I don't know. But we didn't have the inventory. We did not. I had flew in a whole team. I even went as far as, you know what? Because we are going to be slammed the week of the Bronner Brothers show. Everything I do, I have a couple of vacation properties. What we call them, timeshares. Have a couple timeshares, couple whatever you want to call it. We don't travel on retail prices. We get discounts everywhere we go. People think I live the best life, but trust and believe everything is strategically done. It's strategically done, and I am on a budget most of what top dollar. I'm not paying $6,000 for this trip. We're gonna get it for two. So I became a travel agent. Everything, listen, I tell you, everything you do be a benefit to your company. Everything. Everything. So I took them on a vacation. I wish they was here because I like to wring all their necks right now. Took them on vacation the week before the Bronner Brothers show. We spent the whole week, 5-star resort on my top share. So we had a great time. I'm thinking, yeah, because we're going to be Bronner Brothers show. This is my first time. I said, I'm going to be at the Bronner Brothers show. Well, I was there, but it was a bust. $5 after $30,000 to get there. Ah, I fired everybody, my mama and husband included. But that was not a great feeling. He was sitting, I swear to y'all think I'm playing? They was here. My husband, he mugging. He mean mugging. But when the dude come up and say, oh, well, tell me about this product. Oh, I could tell you. It's about our relationships, I promise y'all. I tell you. I said, is this the way I can get him to get up and do some work? Because our whole team was sitting back, arms crossed. I'm literally hitting everyone because it's my business. No one is going to have the passion for your business deeper than you. They're not going to fight for your business. They're not going to advocate for your business. When I tell you to advocate for your business and surround yourself with people that think like you, that believe in your business like it's theirs, you better. Because that time, and when I fired them, oh, it was a wake-up call. I didn't talk to nobody. I took first class flight back home and put their butts in coke. I was mad. I was big mad. I had to fly all of that inventory that we have back home, which was another 12 grand that I didn't have. Okay? Trip was a disaster for most people. Most people would say that was a disaster trip. That was a teachable moment for me. Very, very teachable moment. I failed to plan. I failed myself. I knew what they was doing. They playing around, you know. And I said, you know what? How do I then restructure? How do I keep this from happening again? Hire people that family. Let them know I have family. Let them know what your vision is, and they have to be just as committed as you. Just as committed. We all got back home. Ooh, they knew I was. Oh, what's the blow up stuff? TNT. TNT. Oh, I was smoking Joe Frazier. Oh, I was. And I came back and I said, we didn't make a we stood to make. I was gonna give everybody. I had bonuses. Oh, came in, y'all did your thing. I'm gonna give bonuses. We came back upside down. Upside down. I said, okay. But guess who I met? Met the team. I was having the worst day, and I literally sat in the middle of that floor and I cried. I was out of frustration. I was told me, you can't hit your mama, can't hit your husband. He might divorce you. He ain't all that bad, you know. But this is a lot of money. Nobody helped me pay. Nobody helped me make this money. This was money I took from my business that I crossed money with, right? But okay at the time because the other businesses didn't have their own separate entities. Everything was running through 5 Star. Everything was running. So when I came, I said, what did you do wrong? See, it ain't about the team because your team is a reflection of you. Let's be honest. We being honest, right? We being honest. Team is a reflection of what you've done. What did you put in? How did you train your team? How did you train your team to be great? I feel that. Oh, it's my mom, it's my husband. You know what I'm going through. But we had some extras on the side. They're gonna follow the rest of us. Well, they followed the rest of them because it's fun. It was easy, you know. So I had to come back to be honest with myself and say, God, you know what? I know this is money. Oh, not to mention, I took half of my mortgage. Oh, I'm lying. I took all of my mortgage because I just knew we was coming back at Bronner Brothers. No, no, no. Oh, sister girl. Big eyes and didn't hit it. Did not hit it. Said, okay, I'm in hustle mode. God, I got people on my books. The money is coming. Everybody don't have that, but that's my belief. Is that I've been doing this for so long. I have dedicated clientele all the time that come without fail. So it was nothing. Let me speak right. I'm not gonna say it wasn't nothing. It was stressful as hell. I almost missed payroll. I had to take out a loan to make payroll. None of my salon team knew what had happened. I took out a loan to make payroll. So you see how unorganized I was, undisciplined I was? It takes a lot. Did you raise your hand? Oh, you just did this? Oh, okay. So that took a lot for me about my shortcomings. What did I do? How could I have done things better? So you know what I did? I'm hands off. I am hands off in my own business now. Hire an accounting team, a marketing team, my everyday team, my stylist. I try my best not to be so hands on because there's only so many hats that I can wear in entrepreneurship. Like I said, we've launched different sectors of this business, all have their own separate EIN numbers. You can do fictitious names that run under your company tier. You can do that. Then we have a nonprofit that we've started. How many people do you see up here? Just one. But in my mind, the GOAT to myself. To myself. To you probably got she crazy. But in my mind, I think I could do it all. I could be a mother, I could be a prayer warrior, not necessarily. Okay, sorry, God. And you know, I'm a sister. I have a brother that's out of jail, trying to support him, trying to support my other brother. As the sun rises, talk about that later. You know, then I have, you know, I have two nieces, a niece that's in a week, y'all. Yummy. You know, so I have a lot, and I'm a teacher now, right? So my main thing that I have learned to accept in business, solid myself, every day I'm going to learn something new to add to my business. I no longer run with my cool, we want to shake it up and do a little, my knees don't work. So I can't be doing it all damn like it's hot and all that stuff no more. So I have to go to lounges with mocktails. I can't do the things that I used to do. Even if you want to be successful, you have to align yourself, make way more money than you, that's willing to share the information, and that's willing to be mentors to you. I have like 7 mentors. Swear to God, I'm a mentor to a whole bunch of people. I'm a surrogate mentor to other people because I went through all hurdles, these ups and downs to where I can tell you what it really is. I'm not gonna say that's your journey, but this was my journey. And if me being authentically sharing my with you all to prevent you all from making these same mistakes, and to be honest with you, that's my goal. That's my goal, is to be able to give it to you raw and to help you in any way that I can. Why don't you teach this? Why don't you people for this? For what? No amount of money is going to be a bigger blessing than what God has already furnished me with. For what? Still get to learn. Still get to meet younger people in here. I have older women, older than me. You touch my life. Business. That's invaluable. The fact that you even think enough of me to say, hey Jay, what you think about this? You're like, well, let's sit down and just wrap up. That means a lot. That says a lot about your character. That says people trust you. People value the knowledge that you have. And had I not made these critical mistakes in my journey, I wouldn't be able to share that. I wouldn't be able to share that. You understand? So for me, it's my blessing to be able to come and talk to other people that want to start entrepreneurship journey, understand their sleepless nights. There's a lot of money to be involved. Everybody's not going to hit it big on Instagram. I tried to get on Instagram and felt like a fool. I threw the hashtag, hey, glam girl. Like, I am an engineer, okay? I'm a chemist. Create beauty products, hair care products for people. They're governed for African Americans. And use them because everybody want to grow hair. Everybody needs healthy heads of hair. Everybody wigs them. Easy. But it's also a blessing to be able to have hair down your back naturally. Okay. And I ain't gonna do it in a ponytail and my little niece pull all over it because she a month and a half. Okay. Those are the things that those are the things that make me being okay. And to say, hey, how are your books? Your books in order? Because guess what? If your book's not in order, let me tell you another mistake I made. Not having my books in order. Money was, and this particular year, we should have made about 500,000. Should have made. Books were out. We ended up getting it together, but guess what it cost me? So instead of it costing me $1,200 to do taxes, humor me. Ask me how much did it cost? It cost me an additional $18,000 to have my taxes done when all I needed to do was to keep the money together. Itemize. QuickBooks do it for you. QuickBooks do it for you. And again, that was in the past. Ask me how many of the mistakes I make now. You better know it, not none. See, I speak fast enough. None. I like what I'm doing. I like to know where I can invest in the products and ingredients. Now we have these that make our products. Still make them in-house, depending on if somebody needs something real fast. I'll still have that capability. But in 2 years, we went from having no factories making, and everything is US based. And this is, I don't know how important it is for you. I don't get things out of the country. Nothing. My raw ingredients may come from the Amazon, they may come from different parts of the world, but everything is made here in the US. So I pride myself on that. US based, because we can put a lot of money out here in these international waters. And now we have an international partnership. We have one. It's better than what we had 4 years ago. We had one big international partner, which makes it work. Everything US, everything, our employees are strategically vetted because I need to know what your vision is. What do you plan to do? Are you planning to be here for 5 to 6 years? Like, be honest. Let's have a real conversation. So we business plan. I put all of my employees, every last one of them, I know by name in every company. I know them by name, and all of them are on. You know how they do uh, um, a productivity sheet? I need to know what your goals are. So I sit down and I have them to do these accountability statements. What are you accountable? What goals do you want to meet? Even if it's personal, I try to help align. But my main focus, what do you want to do in business? And if I can help you do that and leave this company to be greater than what you are, let's do it. I don't want to hold you back, but I'm grateful you're a part of this journey. I'm glad I see you at WeBank, girl. Okay. And that's just what it is. So for me, it's about being able to touch you, and us having a real authentic relationship to be able to say, I see you. I want to see you succeed. How can I help you? Even if it isn't monetary, I don't help nobody monetary. Because everybody a form a story to say, oh, I need help. I want to give you something that you're having trouble giving yourself. And that's certain knowledge, right? It's not about money. You can go out here, you can spend money today or tomorrow. I can give you $5, you spend that, it's gone. But if I give you something mentally, it's about giving, sacrificing. So the main thing, what we talk about today, because we got to wrap up 5 minutes. Thing is discipline, relationships, aligning, commitment, sacrifice. That's it. Ain't no more. That's it. That's how I live my life. Business and personal. Business and personal. One quick story. Now, mind you, let me just tell y'all what I drive. I drive 2011 Buick Enclave. I absolutely love it because it's paid. It's fly enough, but it has character, like its owner. We have a couple hail dents, a little cellulite, you know what it's talking about. We have mortgages and stretch marks. That's what we do, right? I keep my car because it keeps me grounded. When I pull up at this shelter every weekend, they know me by name. Hey, Miss J, can I talk to you? When I started that journey, every client, we call them clients, every client felt like they were just there. They shut down. I ended up implementing a program to where they work. They're homeless, but do you know their story? They lack relationships. I'm big on relationships. Again, we can all be homeless. We're none of us that big. None of us are that big to where he can't have the circumstances of life to put us in those shoes. So you better know their story. You better know how close they are to the edge where they're getting ready to blow this building up or jump off a bridge. We've had it. Okay? People have literally just given up and checked out on life. Bad relationships happen. One client, his wife, he drank himself into homelessness. Ask me how much he make. He makes almost $2 a year and he's homeless by the time. He said he couldn't wife the life that she asked for because he was busy working. He failed the relationship. And he says that he didn't feel like he deserved to live a quality of life when she was withering away from cancer. And I say that to say none of the workers that we are supposed to be advocating for, the homeless people, none of them knew their story. I make it my business to know their stories. Sometimes they just want to say hi. How you doing? You need a little extra to eat? So not only do I cook for them, I serve them and I sit and I talk to them. Not because it's a part of my volunteer work, but because I care. And I would want somebody to say, how you doing? It's a lot of work. It takes a lot on your psyche, your mental, and mental illness is real. That's another field that I volunteer in now because it's real. People taking their lives left and right. Business people, people that have money, money, money in the bank. Money ain't everything. What's important are the relationships. Are the relationships. And if you can get up there and you can touch one person's life, be grateful. This very person will circle back around and come back and find you. It's going to come back around. It's going to come back around. So for me, it's about connecting dots, doing your work in the community. That's a sacrifice. I mean, how many hours is in a day? I'm 28. I'm working 28. And it's not all about making money. Hey, you need me? Okay, God, please show me when. And you don't have to be a prayer warrior. I promise you, you don't. Just ask God what your purpose is. Because the business that you have for you may not be the business. That's what I had to learn. 30 something years to really be successful. I was doing, you know, in the salon, but my structure wasn't right. Structure is right. I constantly engagements. I'm a student in everything that I do. I'm still a student and a wife. I ain't a professional enough. These new hairdos coming out, doing that. Baby heads, they grown woman heads. Like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not putting my name on it. So for me, it's a blessing to be able to be a student in everything that I do. So this professional student have been able to come and talk to you all. Whatever you take, I thank you. Whatever you don't take, put it away for somebody else and be a blessing to pass the same information along. Ask. How many of y'all can do that? You need to see some hands. How many of y'all can teach one, say one, right? Okay. That's what I need from you all. For me, it's been a blessing to work with you all, to be able to share the good, the bad, and entrepreneurship, because that's what it is. I'm going to leave my number for you all. Call me if you all have, for those that you all are starting businesses, even if you all just want to talk about what was said today, I'm going to leave my number. I will answer. And if I don't answer immediately, I will call you back. I'm a beast at texting. Okay? Because if you get a text at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, don't charge it to my head, charge it to my heart a little bit. Or don't charge it to my heart, charge it to my head. What that saying is. I will contact you back. Promise you. Nobody else's. It's my personal number. Okay? So any questions?